Hello and welcome to my review of issue 16 of the Warhammer 40K Conquest subscription from Hatchett Partworks. If you don't already know, it's a subscription service that will cost you £7.99 per week, or £32 per month, and they send you all 4 magazines with models, paints, tools, all those kind of things, brushes every month. And typically they're all models that you've seen before. Now and again you may get a few surprises. So issue 16, this one, contains one of the sprues from the Dark Imperium set. You get 2 Primaris Space Marine Hellblasters, 2 Primaris Space Marine Intercessors, and 1 Inceptor. There are 8 sprues in the set that they sell you, that they bundle in with these subscriptions throughout the issues. So technically that's about £11 per issue, so you're already saving £3 than if you were to get the Dark Imperium box set separately. However, there's always the option of going through third party, in which case you're still saving a little bit, but it's not that much. But if you haven't had Dark Imperium, then this is a great way of getting them all. But then again, you're missing out on the other stuff that you get in there, such as the amazing hardback rulebook. Anyway, issue 16, it was nice to get, 5 Primaris Space Marines, and you can use them like this as well. There's rules in here to do that. So let's have a little look at the issue first of all and move them out of the way. So there's a focus on Inceptors, because this is your first Inceptor that you get. Inceptor war gear, like the assault bolters. You can have them with the plasma weapons as well. And then recently you can have them with the accelerator autocannons. It shows you there the plasma exterminator. Often swap out their assault bolters for plasma exterminators. Extra firepower, but they're prone to overheat and explode. No close combat weapons for the Inceptors, so they're mainly dual wielding those weapons. How to build your new Space Marines. So it shows you how to build the Intercessors, the Inceptor, and then the Hellblasters. Very straightforward. I didn't even look at the instruction guide to build mine. I've built them before. They're a piece of cake. How to paint them. It shows you how to paint them with all of the paints that you've received so far in the subscription. A fair bit of shading as well, using the Agrax Earth shade and the Null Oil. And then the finished models, they're beginning to look a bit more like regular Space Marines. They had a couple of tutorial missions in here, such as Secure the Fallen, Taken Hold, and then some rules about the flying units, charging with flying units, and then you got a couple of data sheets. Now these are specific for these Primaris Space Marines because you've got here Hellblaster Squad. This unit contains between 2 and 4 Hellblasters. You can also include 1 Hellblaster Sergeant, whereas in the Codex it says something different to that. And Inceptor Squad, this unit contains between 1 and 2 Inceptors. So you have that Inceptor and you can just have him on his own, although why you'd want to do that I don't know, but then again, toughness 5 and 2 wounds, still pretty good. And he does have the meteoric descent. And then there's a blank page, and then a little bit of a subscription view, and then the next issue, which I think I covered in the first look of this, contains the armoured container, the second armoured container. You get 3 overall in the subscription, and 18 unfortunately only has the 2 paints, but they're good paints, and my first look, and I'll have a first look and review of issue 18 completely separate. Let's have a look at the models themselves. Although technically not easy to build kits because you need glue for them, they were quite straightforward, and they're just the models that you get in the Dark Imperium set. When you put them in a squad with your Dark Imperium set, you're not going to be able to tell too much. The legs and the guns will be in pretty much the same position because they have the plugs and sockets, and the intercessors, they look very samey anyway. But what I did, which is a nice little tip I'll give you, is I cut the plugs off of the heads on the bottom of the heads, and then you can position the head any which way. So that's why this guy's looking all the way down the plasma weapon, and also this guy's just looking with his head slightly to the side, and these guys, he's just looking forward, and he's obviously looking forward but walking, and I did that with the Inceptor. But what I also did cheekily with the Inceptor is cut the plug off of the assault bolter and raised his arm, so he looks like he's kind of hovering, but then firing with it, and this one's just, you know, resting to his side. What I haven't done is obviously I've glued this on here. You don't have to, you can wait and do the base and then glue it on, but I like to glue the flying stands on the bases, paint the model, and then eventually just glue it onto the base once he's completely finished. So that's why he's hanging a little bit. He's probably going to be like that when he's complete. So I'm thinking maybe I should have moved that round base thing further back, which I might do at a later date, but still, that's where he is right now. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll just go through some of the rules for these Primaris Space Marines. I'll go through the rules for the intercessors from the Codex. So the Hellblasters, these guys on the left here, they're a power points cost of an 8. They're a heavy support choice and a power points cost of an 8. Their normal Hellblasters are movement 6 inches, weapon skill and ballistic skill 3+, strength and toughness of 4, 2 wounds, 2 attacks, leadership 8 and a save of 3+. The Sergeant is the same, except for the Sergeant has 3 attacks and a leadership of 9. In the Conquest magazine, it says that the unit contains between 2 and 4 Hellblasters. You can also include 1 Hellblaster Sergeant, and each model is armed with a plasma incinerator, a bolt pistol, frag grenades and crack grenades. Pistol is a 12-inch Pistol 1, strength 4, AP 0 and damage 1 weapon, but the plasma incinerator has got 2 weapon profiles, a standard or supercharge. They're both 30-inch range, a rapid fire 1. A standard shot is strength 7, AP -4 and damage 1, but the supercharge bumps the strength up to 8 and a damage of 2. However, on a hit roll of 1, the bearer is slain after all of his weapon shots have been resolved. That's why it might be worth it to supercharge it depending on the circumstances, or just do it anyway, because yes, they're going to die, but there's a high chance that your enemy's going to die too. Frag grenades and crack grenades are as normal. Frag grenades are range 6-inch, grenade D6, strength 3, AP 0 and damage of 1. Crack grenades are 6-inch, grenade 1, strength 6, AP -1 and a damage of D3. Their abilities, and they shall know no fear, where you can re-roll failed morale tests for the unit, and Codex Discipline. Models in this unit can still shoot in a turn in which they fall back, but if they do so, you must subtract 1 from the hit rolls in the shooting phase. Keywords is Imperium, Adeptus Astartes, Ultramarines Infantry, Primaris and Hellblaster Squad. Now you got the rules for the intercessors in one of the previous editions of the magazine, but I will just read them out from the Space Marine Codex. So the Intercessor Squad, it's a troop choice, it's a power points cost of a 5. Their profile is the same as the Hellblasters. It's movement of 6 inches, weapon skill, ballistic skill 3+, strength 4, toughness 4, 2 wounds, 2 attacks, leadership 7 and a save of 3+. These ones here are equipped with the bolt rifles, which are range 30-inch, rapid fire 1, strength 4, AP -1 and a damage of 1. Other than that, all their other weapons are normal, which I've already explained, such as the bolt pistol and the frag and crack grenades. Now the Inceptor in the back, this is a new unit for the subscription. He's a fast attack choice. He's a power points cost of a 10, which makes it a little bit odd in terms of the power points cost, because obviously unit contains between 1 and 2 Inceptors. You can also include 1 Inceptor Sergeant, so for 10 power points you've either got this guy or you've got 2 and a Sergeant, which is clearly the way to go. Anyway, the Inceptor stat line reads movement of 10 inches, weapon skill, ballistic skill 3+, strength 4, toughness 5, 2 wounds, 2 attacks, leadership 8 and a save of 3+. So what you're getting over normal Hellblast intercessors there is a toughness of 5 and a movement speed of 10 inches. How are their weapons though? Those assault bolters. They're a range 18-inch, assault 3, strength 5, AP -1 and a damage of 1. So that's great. They're assault weapons and they're 18 inches, so you've got an effective range there of 28 inches, and because they've got 2 of them, you've got 6 shots. If you've got 3 Inceptors, then that's 18 shots of strength 5. Pretty good. Abilities, and they shall know no fear. You can reroll failed morale tests for the unit. Codex Discipline. Models in this unit can still shoot in a turn in which they fall back, but if they do so, you must subtract 1 from the hit rolls in the shooting phase. This is a new ability though, Meteoric Descent. During deployment, you can set up this unit in high orbit instead of placing it on the battlefield. At the end of any of your movement phases, this unit can use a meteoric descent. Set it up anywhere on the battlefield that is more than 9 inches away from any enemy models. So they can basically deep strike then. And finally, Crushing Charge. Roll a d6 each time a model from this unit finishes a charge move within 1 inch of an enemy unit. On a 6, the enemy unit suffers a mortal wound. That's pretty good because it's per model. So you've got 3 models there. you've got, you know, on a 6, the other unit could suffer those mortal wounds. So it's a nice little extra ability they've got. Keywords: Imperium, Adeptus Astartes, Ultramarines, Infantry Jump Pack, Mark 10 Gravis, Primaris, Fly and Inceptor Squad. So there you go, you've got a nice little fighting force there of 5 Primaris Space Marines, and you've got 3 different types. You've got the Hellblasters, which are great with their high strength, high armor penetration weapons. You've got the Intercessors, which again, same range weapons, the 30 inches, and then you've got something that's a bit more close at home with many more shots and a bit tougher as well, and he can deep strike. 3 different types of Primaris Space Marines there. Nice for me to get some reinforcement, slowly building up the Primaris army, piece by piece. What do you guys think of this issue? If you missed out on Dark Imperium, this is a great way of obviously getting that set a little bit at a time. It'd be great to hear from you. Put it in the comments below as always. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.